It all started when Will Smith and Chris Rock went out to dinner together. During the meal, an argument arose between them. Chris Rock stated something that evidently caused offense to Will Smith. This provoked Will Smith to retaliate with more anger. As a result, Will Smith decided to take extreme measures and slap Chris Rock. His anger was so intense he quickly lost control of his emotions. After Will Smith slapped Chris Rock, the pair had to be separated in order to contain the situation. Neither party was willing to back down. Once the emotional heat had subsided, both Will Smith and Chris Rock were able to reflect on what had just happened. Will Smith soon realized he had gone too far, as slapping someone is not a good way to resolve any conflict. Surprisingly, Chris Rock was not only unharmed by the attack, but he also remained calm and was willing to forgive Will Smith. Having seen Chris Rock's reaction to the incident, Will Smith was overwhelmed with guilt and apologized for his actions. Chris Rock graciously accepted his apology and the pair emerged from the situation without any further issues. In hindsight, it is questionable why Will Smith had resorted to such an extreme reaction to resolve the dispute. Ultimately, no one can be entirely certain why Will Smith felt the need to use violence in order to resolve the issue. Perhaps Will Smith was simply feeling annoyed and frustrated at the time, which caused him to lose his composure. Regardless of any reasons or motivations, it is important to remember that violence should never be the answer. Although Will Smith and Chris Rock were fortunately able to settle the confrontation cordially, this isn't always the case. Therefore, people should strive to use calming and respectful methods to resolve any future disputes, rather than violence. It is clear that Will Smith did the wrong thing by slapping Chris Rock, and he is certainly not alone in his mistake. All too often, people can find themselves in situations where they are provoked and easily lose their temper. Instances of verbal and physical violence tend to be an unwelcome occurrence and increases the chances for further conflict. Although it is often difficult to remain calm in such situations, Will Smith could have explored non-violent alternatives. Some of these alternatives include discussing the issue in a civilized manner, and allowing everyone involved to reach a common understanding. In this situation, Will Smith should have taken a deep breath and allowed himself and Chris Rock to talk it through. Having a voice in the dispute would have enabled both parties to find a resolution without resorting to physical violence. The issue could have been resolved peacefully and both Will Smith and Chris Rock would have learned a lesson. Keeping one's composure during a confrontation is not only the right thing to do, but it is also beneficial in the long run. In conclusion, violence is a poor way to deal with situations, and should always be avoided.